Hello, welcome to Animes, another weekly roundup of anime figure releases. This will be from the 12th of December to the 16th of December. We'll have a quick look at the top 10 rankings and then we'll get into the figures. Just to get started, there will be a list below of the figures that we look at today in the description of the video. In case if there's one that spots your eye, then you can quickly click on that link to at least pre-order it rather than having to go and search for it. Since the AmiAmi website only does a weekly round of weekly rounding basically of dates. It's the past 6 dates basically that they'll show. So it can make it a bit more harder, a bit more difficult for you to find these. So it's just something extra I can do to make it easier. Could you also possibly comment and like or subscribe if possible? That would be wonderful. And we shall get in and look at the top 10 figures that have been ordered this week. So at number 1 we've got Nendroid Hololive Production Numeri Inaris Max Factory, 5,790 yen. Very attractive Hololive figure. I could definitely understand. Hololive's obviously a very big IP, so there's a lot of people that do like hot VTubers and whatnot. It's not something I'm personally into, but I can see why it's at number 1. Second for the week is Nendroid Elden Ring Rani pre-order by Max Factory, 6,550 yen. Again, another one of those Nendroids which I think a lot of people will definitely be interested in getting. So Elden Ring, a lot of people have obviously last year's acclaimed game that a lot of people enjoyed. I think it might have won Game of the Year, but yeah, and loads of people have heard of Elden Ring and obviously love the game. So getting an Nendroid for for a character in that game is very good, nice to see. Then we got SH Figure Arts Makami Chainsaw Man, SH Figure Arts Kenpachi Zaraki, and SH Figure Arts Naruto Uzumaki, 3, 4, and 5 respectively. I'm surprised to see through SH Figure Arts. Not some sort of, they're not figures that I would personally look at like posable ones, but I can see why people do like these to have these posable figures just to make it a bit more dynamic, especially in their collection. And number 6 got SMSH Monster Arts Red Eyes Black Dragon. Yep, it's a Yu-Gi-Oh monster, so that kind of might make sense as Red Eyes have got a cult following. At number 7, we got Mappa X Design Koko Jujutsu Kaisen Sato Gojo. With this, we'll be looking at later in the when we get to the actual figures. At number 8, we've got Final Fantasy Bring Arts Joshua Rossfield. At number 9, we've got Figma Blue Archive Kiyoma Kazuma for 9,900 yen. Not a bad looking figure. Blue Archive is obviously one of those mobile games, gacha games. Quite an interesting game, not played it yet, but there's obviously a lot of character designs that are quite appealing from the IP, so possibly worth getting if you're big into Blue Archive. At number 10, you've got Genshin Impact officially on 7th scale by Alta, so this is going to be a very nice, obviously, looking figure. 26,960 yen. Actually, very nice looking figure. I do like the effect parts that are on here. The character design is very well done. And it's got Alta's seal of approval, so the paint job's going to be immaculate. So I can definitely see why this is at number 10 in the top 10 for this week. That's it for the top 10. We shall now get into the actual figures that I've selected from the 12th to the 16th that I want to have a look at. And again, those links will be down below. Start with, we've got Mihiro Sasho Bunny Girl Quarter Scale by Maggie Arcs for 27,740 yen. So as a quarter scale, it's a bit cheaper than freeing figures, but not overly much cheaper. So the actual overall design, I love the sculpt. The definition on the back is very well done. Definitely like that a lot. And obviously the pose is a bit different, at least to some freeing figures. I do like the hair, short hair cut characters I personally enjoy. So this is a very good fine looking figure. Just depends on whether you not having actual fishnets could be a deal breaker for you compared to freeing figures. So they are asking quite a bit for it without having proper fishnets. But the sculpt is very well done. Probably maybe a little bit better than freeing figures in terms of the actual overall definition in this one. So not a bad looking figure. And we've got Neural Cloud Florence Renee chocolate version by Animister for 8,800 yen. I do like this manufacturer since they've done quite a few figures that I've covered over the past few months that have are very good cheap figures, and that they say are 1/7 scales. So this one's listed as 26 centimeters in height. So I think that seems to be about on par. We'll just have to see when they actually come out if they're actually close to that. But the actual design and the paint job on these this lineup of figures that the Animates have been getting up to have been really well done. So this one's obviously got a sort of pastel effect going on in terms of the hair color and that lot, but the sculpt's very well done. The definition that they've got, sort of like on these thigh highs, obviously pinching around the leg, is really good, and the shading in terms of everything that we're seeing in these pictures, it's seems to be closer to an actual 18, 19, 20,000 yen figure compared to other scales that we got. So as long as they can get close to this, I think I've mentioned in other figures that they have released or put up for pre-order, which have sold up like really quickly. They're a good starting point to get into figures, especially if it's one that you like. That's the thing you have to take into account. They're doing a lot of these sort of I guess OC style designs in order for them not to have to pay for an IP tax. Obviously they just have to pay for an artist, or they might have an in-house artist that are designing these for them. So it's I do like this overall, and hopefully they are an up-and-coming manufacturer that will become promising, as long as they can keep the prices low. We'll just have to wait and see. Hyperdimensional Neptunia Blackheart bare leg version, quarter scale by Freeing, for 29,400 yen. So it's the bare leg version of Blackheart. So it looks fine. If you missed out on the original one, then you can at least get the bare leg one at a slight discount compared to the first launch of her with fishnets. And obviously there's matches the other Hyperdimension Neptunia figure that the Freeing have done. So it's not too bad. It's just obviously just like with all their other bare legs, a re-release basically. Azure Lane Charybdis Red Chamber of Healing on 7th scale by Good Smile Art Shanghai for 19,600 yen. It's an Azure Lane figure. I do like the props that they've got on here, the actual bed or seating that they've got going on here. The dress looks really well done. The paint job looks good, and the fact that you get this this scarf might be a bit off-putting. Depends on how people find it, because obviously it might flake over time, especially when it's been sat on a shelf for a long time. It could deteriorate. It might. So we'll just have to wait and see. I've not got any figures. I've got any of these sort of scarves, so I can't tell what over the long run they would actually like hold up to. It could yellow over time, which could mean you might want to display her without the scarf, or just keep the scarf in the box. But the scarf does seem to add quite a bit to it, the actual overall character design, so I don't know. But the actual character is well done. Paint job looks good. Yeah, and there's another Azure Lane figure. There's obviously tons of Azure Lane figures that have come out, and there's probably going to be quite a few more coming out, since it's still a rather large game with a very big following. Prisma Wing Shikimori's Not Just a QT by Prime One Studio. This is it is an expensive figure. They have not. She's only got one other figure that released a few months ago, or up for pre-order a few months ago, from what I'm aware of. So good to see another one. I've not seen the anime, but it does seem like it is one that is on my watch list. So I do want to go watch that anime at some point. When I saw the trailer for it, I was like, this is an anime that I really do want to go watch. But yeah, so the figure looks great, 29,600 yen. Prisma Wing, I think, have been doing a lot of recently over this year, been doing a lot more of these IPs. You get 2 head pieces with this, two face swaps, head parts, so that's quite good. The hair is obviously very neon pink, but I think in the actual anime, she's very neon pink in terms of the hair, anyways. So it is a bit off-putting. It does drag your eye away from the actual rest of the figure, but it depends on personal taste whether it is off-putting or not. That's a decision, unfortunately, we're just going to have to make. There is a bonus version of her, which is not an Ami Ami, so I think you can only get her directly from Prismarine, where you get a scarf that comes with the character. So that one I think is about 29,000 yen as well. I think that might only be able to be bought on Primon Studios, like their own shop front. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with that, but yeah, it's not available as an option at Good Smart or Nami Ami, unfortunately. But yes, a very good looking figure overall, and is a very enjoyable anime from what I've heard. Azure Lane Takao L version 1/6 by Anigame, 15,960 yen. So 1/6 scale, so slightly larger than other Azure Lane 1/7. Good price, less than 16,000 yen, or just under 16,000 yen. I do like the overall aesthetic attire, office style skins, aesthetic at least. Sort of these office lady or suits that you get. I do like this appearance overall, so it's a very good looking figure. And I probably would get it if it's a character that you're fall in love with from the game. So that's released Jan 2025. I would say worth it if she's one of your waifus from Azure Lane. Artifacts Jujutsu Kaisen Toji Fushirugu 1/8 by Kotobukiya, 14,960 yen. So good price. A character you probably, I think a lot of people, when we saw him in the first sort of few episodes, saw the prelogue of the second season, he's definitely one that a lot of people enjoy. I really enjoyed his appearance in the anime. So definitely worth getting a hold of. Since we have no idea how many of this character we're going to get. Depends on how many. Gojo we can understand. Obviously a lot of people are going to get Gojo. But I think this is another character that a lot of people like. And the fact that this guy, I won't spoil it. I will let you, if you've not seen season 2, definitely go and watch season 2. It's definitely follows up from the first season and from the movie very well. The first few episodes are like god tier standard fight scenes going on there. So this is a figure I would probably get as well if I wanted to. I don't know. I'm tempted to. I might wait actually till it's released to see what happens for this one. But yeah, there's a very good looking figure. B-Style Higurashi no Naku Koro Nisotsu Rika Furude by Freeing for 32,670 yen. So she, I think, is going to be a bit on the smaller side compared to other Freeing quarter scales, but I think that's just down to character. 37 centimeters tall. Not seen the anime, but this is matches. This does go with a previous released figure of this quarter scale, which I can't remember, but I think she's actually discounted quite a bit, if I remember correctly. I'm not even sure if she's still available in stock. I'll throw a screenshot up here if she is available for order still. But obviously both of them have sort of unique designs with the actual props. Gives you a bit of extra compared to the normal Freeing sort of standard bunnies that we've been getting for the past 3-4 years, especially with their price going up. But yeah, it's a white bunny suit figure. I quite like it, and the fishnets in this one, obviously the white ones always seem to have a bit more spacing in the actual stockings compared to their black ones. So yeah, 32,670 yen. Definitely worth getting a hold of if you enjoyed watching this anime. Bocchi the Rock Ryo Yamada by Good Smile, 15,640 yen. Good to see we're actually getting some other characters, not just the main one for Bocchi the Rock. So yeah, that's really good. I think it's the same manufacturer's done the other Bocchi the Rock releases, so in the same sort of style. So this looks good overall. And that's good. We're seeing some other at least characters being released now from Bocchi the Rock. Taken them a while since they've obviously there's been quite a few releases of the main character from Bocchi the Rock. Bakayuno Ushimuse Meg Ushio Strawberry Milk version. So there's multiple versions of this one being released. From what I'm aware of, where it's just the print basically So this is going to be a re-release basically from the standard one. So this is 24,080 yen. It's 1/6 scale. I'm pretty sure this is a cast-offable figure. Yeah, so that's the original there. So yeah, Strawberry Milk is just a different print and recoloring of the same character. So that's fine. Yep, it is cast-offable. So 24,000 yen by Luchery. It's fine. If you didn't miss out on the other character on the original one, or you prefer this Strawberry Milk styling, then you can get a hold of this. Sakuroku Kisaragi, another color version. So this is a obviously a different colored version of a quarter scale. She is quarter scale, which is good. By Party Look. Is obviously not safe for work. It's cast offable. The original one is pink from the coloring on the kimono and on the umbrella. But I think from what I remember, the original coloring, which is from August was released, is actually sort of bargaining quite hard. So you can get the original one very cheap. So this one probably will do the same thing when this gets released in February 2024. So at least you have two opportunities. If you want a quarter scale that's very lewd in your collection, that's cast offable, then at a better price than this 40,000 yen, which I don't know why they're charging 40,000 yen. As I said, considering the original one, 4 months later is like I think nearly half the price, or like 10,000 yen less, something like that, for quarter scale. So definitely worth waiting, I would say, for this one. Pop-Up Parade, Martian successor, Nadisco Ruri, Hoshino. Not seen the anime, but we've got a Pop-Up Parade of her. So that's good at least. The overall figure, looks fine. I like the shading on the hair is pretty good. Definitely the blue to whites is very well done, and that's where they seem to put the effort in for this figure, obviously in terms of the paint scheme. Everything else just standard flat colors. Pop-Up Parade Assassination Classroom, Karma, Akabene, by Good Smile, 4,080 yen. And we've also got Nagisa Shiota as well. So it's good we're seeing some more Assassination Classrooms. Very good anime. I've still not watched it, but from what I've heard, lots of people have really enjoyed the Assassination Classroom series. So the fact that we've got some more Pop-Up Parades, it's good, and it's not going to break the bank either for getting hold of these figures. Tenatol Heat the Pig Liver. It's by Fuyu, 5,220 yen. This one, the sculpting is really well done on the dress, especially by Tenatol are blowing it out of the park these days for what they're doing for Fuyu. Sorry, Tenatol lineup by Fuyu. So 5,220 yen, very good price, and it's the first figure that I've seen coming out from Heat the Pig, which is currently airing in this season. So the fact they've got big turnaround for this, but yeah, this is a very good looking figure. If you've enjoyed the anime or just want sort of, because of the sculpting on this is amazing, this is definitely worth getting a hold of, coming out in August 2024. Some more expensive figures now. Hero Academia Ochako Uraraka, Euro Rarity version. So this is sort of that sort of theming where you go through. Oh, come on, why is the picture's not working? There we go. Where it's very much like a slice from a comic book. So with the float lettering going on. Looks very well done. I do like this. So if you're a big Uraraka fan, this is a very dynamic figure for you to get. It is a bit expensive, 28,730 yen, and proof. They've done Midoriya that was released, I think, at pre-order a month or so ago. So the fact that they're obviously going to do Uraraka, and they also have done, they've done Bakugo, sorry, Great Explosion version, 27,960 yen. So both of these are definitely worth getting a hold of if you're big into your My Hero Academia series. I've sort of watched season 1, about halfway through season 2, and then just never got around to watching the other season 3 and 4 that they've done. So I do need to catch up on it. I do like My Hero Academia, but I'm not like huge into the following of it. Delicious in Dungeon, Marcel Donato, adding color to the dungeon 1/7 for 28,510 yen. This is just a nice looking like fantasy figure. The base adds so much to it. It's great. I do love the sort of mushroom monsters going on, and the the little horned rabbits that they've got going on here, and the pumpkin's very just with the face on is really cute. If you just like fantasy anime or fantasy anime and fantasy style figures overall, then this is one. It's like an auto buy, really. The paint job looks great. 28,510 yen is a bit pricey, but it's such a nice looking figure. Yeah, and I think it will hold its value, to be honest, once it is released. It's just a nice. The base adds so much to this figure. So yeah, no, it's a very good looking figure. Definitely worth getting a hold of. Probably one of the better figures this week. I don't know why it hasn't ended up in the top 10. Probably partly to do with price, and obviously it's not from a character name. Delicious in Dungeon Meshi. If it's from an anime, I've not seen it. I've not heard of anything about it. So, but no, the character and the design looks very well done. Very nice, good looking figure. Definitely, probably one of the better ones this week we're looking at. Apart from some of the ones later on, which we'll be covering shortly, those were slightly better than this one. Speaking of that, Jujutsu Kaisen Shibuya Incident Sato Gojo by Design Coco, 52,800 yen. Very expensive figure. Obviously, this is going to be a very large figure because of the base, but this is a very, very nice looking figure. When you have got the blue base going, or lighting, whether that's photoshopped and they've just increased the saturation of the blue, I don't know. But the actual figure looks very well done. I think it's got LED in the base. It doesn't mention anything about there being an LED in the base. Not that I can see, but it looks like it does light up, so I think there probably is some sort of illumination or built-in LED that you can add in. Which, if there is, that's good. Just based on the differences between these, I would probably say that there would be an actual LED that lights up in there. But yeah, 52,800 yen, probably best figure of this year. Well, that we've seen this year, February 2025. So you've got a long time to at least save up and to get this figure. It's such a good looking figure. His hair's maybe a bit let down, but I think it's because he's got very obviously white hair anyways in the anime, so that kind of makes sense. But the overall design and concept of this base, and if you've seen up to that point in the season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen, then you will know the reference to why all these skulls are about skeletons, about clawing at him. Very nice looking figure, top tier one. Definitely worth getting. This map has blown it out of the park, but this Gojo one is probably like your central Gojo figure you're going to get without going to resin statues. Toho Project Sakura Izayu Kimojo Denetsu version 1/8 by Q's 15,700 yen. Very nice looking Toho Project figure. All the Toho Project figures that they've released are really well done. The design, I think, just carries it. It's just the overall design on the Toho Project lineup is just amazing. So yeah, this is a very well good done figure, and for the price, less than 16,000 yen, it's like really, if you love Toho Project, and this is like an auto buy, and it's not gonna cost you arm and leg really. Not compared to a lot of some of the other Toho Project figures that have come out, especially like one we'll be covering in a bit. Toho Project Flandre Scarlet by Q's for 21,300 yen. So there has been another version of Flandre Scarlet by Alta that was released 6 months ago. That's Alta though, so it does command a higher price. I think it was about 32,000 yen when it was released. And it's Alta, so it's gonna have amazing paint job. But this one's slightly different in terms of design of the same character. But this one, again, great paint job. So if you missed out on the Ultra one, Cube done a very good sort of follow-up and rendition of the of Flandre. And it is kind of, it's not exactly the same as the other Flandre. Obviously, it is a bit different. There is quite a bit different compared to the Ultra one. But the overall paint job on this looks really well done. The shading that they've got going on the dress is amazing. Ultra have done the same thing, and their paint job's immaculate. But this is great, definitely worth getting a hold of. And this is a bonus version, which comes with a poster. So you do get a poster for slightly more money, for a few thousand yen. So if you want an A3 poster, then spend the extra 4,000 yen to get a hold of the bonus version. Overlord Clementine 1/7 by Fat Company. So we're finally getting some more other figures. This is Clementine. If you've watched Overlord, then you'll know about her. I'm surprised I actually did a figure of her, since her appearance in the anime is very short, to say the least. But yeah, no, it's quite a good looking figure. Clementine, I can understand why they didn't want to do her basic, how she appears in the anime. It's kind of a bit boring, bland probably, but yeah, no, this is a very good swimsuit version of Clementine, and I think it's the only Clementine one that I'm aware of. For 27,800 yen, might be a bit on the pricey side. Maybe wait for this to come out. I'm not sure how popular Clementine is, since she has a short appearance in the anime. Lucria Macross Frontier short film Labyrinth of Time Rankali, for 27,500 yen by Mega House. It's a very nice, bright looking figure, very green and floral. But yeah, no, I do like this figure, very good. I like the vibrant greens and yellows going on. The design looks great. The other Macross Frontier ones I've seen before are very interesting, very good designs as well. So yeah, 27,500 yen might be a bit pricey, but you'd have to do a bit of research and see really if the other ones sort of if they've sort of come down in design, in price after release and whatnot. But like the green hair shading is really well done. When we get other characters that have this sort of green hair, they should copy this sort of how they've implemented the shading here on from this character on those ones as well in future releases. If we see them, as green hair characters are pretty rare in anime in general, anyways. But yeah, 27,500 yen, very good. I like it a lot. That does it for this week's video. Again, there'll be links to the figures we looked at down below. Thank you very much. Again, please comment, like and subscribe. Definitely comment if there's any other improvements you recommend that I can do to streamline this for you, or if there's anything else that you want me to include. Any other sort of websites that you can purchase figures from. I know I just cover Ame as that sort of the biggest international one outside of Japan that people are aware of, and is easiest for people to get figures from. So yep, and I shall see you in next week's weekly roundup, which will be just before the day before Christmas. That'll be going up, and I've got a few other videos planned over the next sort of 3 weeks to do. So thank you very much, and I shall catch you in next week's video. Goodbye.